Hey guys, how are you guys doing? So I got a question to ask everybody, and I don't know sort of what kind of answer I could expect to get, but it needs to be asked anyway. So I just had a meeting with Alan Blackwell, who's my illustrator. He's been the one that's been designing all of the book covers with the mechs on them, and we're getting ready to start working on the cover for what will be the illustration for book 4 of the Kingdom of Sand series. And he brought to my attention a project that he's been working on for a different client where he has been designing a 3D model that is able to be printed for a different client, a different mech for their project. And it started getting me thinking, and I started asking about some prices, and I started trying to think, like, man, I have wanted to do a game for Revelations forever. I started working on a core rule set about a year ago or so with some friends, and we started putting together our own local play group. We were using proxies and stuff, but I mean, the rules we're still moving forward with. And the idea of being able to move forward with a game for Revelations is a big deal to me. Revelations has always been intended to be more than just novels. It's always been intended to grow one day into multimedia, such as audiobooks, video content, such as hopefully a video series at some point, if not a movie, and also doing games. And that is both card games, board games, tabletop miniature games, and video games, hopefully, down the road. Now, all of this is, of course, contingent on a lot of things moving forward. And how quickly can we do that? Well, as quickly as Revelation starts getting some more readers. And as I make different income and I can get away from doing so much freelance work or working for multiple clients and start really cutting down the number of people that I work with, means the more that I get to focus my time towards Revelations, which then helps the whole universe to grow, hopefully, more rapidly. So what I wanted to come to you guys and ask. Now, this question may seem kind of silly to ask at such a premature stage, but I sort of just want to get the feel for what's with the audience that I have. I have a different size audience here on YouTube, and then I have Facebook, I have an email list. All the audiences are kind of small, but even a small audience can have a big effect if enough people believe in something. And what I've hoped is that I've been able to display in this last year of publishing how serious and how committed I am to Revelations being something that can entertain all of you for the years to come. Even if you haven't had the time to read any of the novels yet, I'm up to 4 novels in Revelations, another book that is a compilation of short stories, and I've already got plans for a book about a bounty hunter that I'm getting ready to start writing tomorrow, and then obviously book 4, 5, and book 6 for Kingdom of Sand, all of those to follow right after I finish the bounty hunter book. So I mean, I've got 4 more books planned, hopefully to be released within the next 5 months. So I will automatically, in the next 5 months, already be up to 8 novels and the compilation book, which is a really big deal, right? To be able to be at that level so quickly. If nothing else, I hope that it shows how serious I am, how determined I am, and how committed I am. I've invested quite a bit of money in the illustrations and the concept art. I've invested I don't know how many hundreds of hours of time to write and edit and promote. And I say all that not to complain, because at the end of the day, this is my project. And if I really want it to be something, I have to put in lots of sweat equity. I have to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I don't say that to be whining or trying to push off responsibility. That's on me, right? I have to be the one to move forward with those things. However, I would like to ask what I was thinking of doing, and I've toured with this idea before, but I think now we finally have more content to be able to work with. I'm considering launching a Patreon. Why Patreon? What's Patreon? Well, Patreon is basically a website that people can go to. Someone like me, a content creator, can set up an account, and then I can set up different levels that people can donate money towards. Those donations are technically you compensating me for whatever the tier is. So there'll be the lower tiers get less in return. No less in thanks for content creators' perspective, because I know not everyone has the same level of money that they can spend on things. And then the higher tiers will get, I went the wrong direction, and the higher tiers will get different levels of access to content. And the idea is with Patreon, I can release behind the scenes content. I can release updates that are different, on things. And that there would be access to any and all currently, the idea is currently, all of the 3D files for people to be able to then print their own war mechs from Revelations to use in other games, or as the rules begin to come together and are published for the game, people can start playing that. So I know there's been a couple of you, I can think of one person in particular who's been asking me about a game for a long time now. But I know not everyone has financial ability to be able to help support something like this. But basically, straight up, I'm a business owner. The more money I can make, the more that I can invest. So the more people that purchase my books, that promote the content, in addition to all the stuff that I'm doing. But, every time you tell one of your friends after you've read one of the books and you're like, look, this guy's really good, or I really want to see Revelations be something. I really believe in the universe. I really believe in what, Rick is moving forward with. The more that we can grow this together, the more that I can put back into it and make it even better. The more that I can have for artwork means the more concept art I can hire out for. That means more work that Alan can do to be able to help generate even more interest by having more amazing art to be able to see in illustrations and 3D designs. And then we can move forward with some other projects as well, hopefully getting closer and closer to being able to do video projects. Those will have probably a much higher budget, but they'll be that much more exciting. So all I'm asking for today, I'm not asking for a number of how much you'd be willing to spend on Patreon every month, although if you know, that would help me to start gauging things. And I know that normally on these videos right now with the size of this channel, I only get a couple comments. So if you're somebody who's been lurking, this is a big opportunity. This is a big moment to really influence me on what you're thinking so that I can move forward with this project correctly. I mean, right now it's midnight where I am. I just got done with the meeting because the Alan lives in Australia, so our schedules are way off. So I have to usually stay up later so that I can make sure that I can meet with him, just because of the way that our schedules are falling together. So, but I was so excited about the idea of being able to get some 3D models of war mechs like the Sierra or the new Enforcer, which if you haven't seen the Enforcer's art, you're missing out. I wish I would have thought I hadn't had that played up behind me, because the Enforcer is amazing. The Arbalest, the Spade, the Sentry, the Hunter. We're working on concept art right now with me and the concept artist Howard, pulling together the Goblin for the Union of Stars. The Goblin is going to change the way that we look at the war mechs, because it's going to be so different from the core Republic's designs. It's going to start really being awesome. And I've got other mechs for the Union, like the Defender, the Aegis, that are going to be coming as well. And those are going to also be really different looking, in a good way, to be able to show visual differences in the way that the game mechanics work and stuff. So all I want to know right now, though, who would be willing to help support Revelations on Patreon every month? And if you know how much you'd be willing to set aside, and I know you don't know any of the tiers, you don't know anything like that, but if I sort of know a little bit about what people might be able to do, then I can start trying to figure out, okay, how much awesome stuff can I offer for that sort of tier? If someone's like, look, I can offer $10 a month every month, or 15 or 25 or 50, and that's money that I can then put right back into Revelations in one form or another, either from helping me to eliminate how much freelance work I have to do so that I can really focus on Revelations that much more, or gives me that much more money that I can hire out for others, artists and other content creators to help me make Revelations even better. So if you believe in this project, if you believe in this universe and you want to see it become something, all of us that are here right now, we're at the beginning stages. Every single one of you watching this, you are the early supporters. And, when people hear about Revelations 10 years from now, they won't even be able to necessarily understand how much of influence that you had at a key moment like this. I'm sure there's something that we can do to help either memorialize or support. I thought about before about having Patreon and maybe publishing that in some way in the books, or doing something else to be able to help show my gratitude, because, I can't do it alone. I could write the most amazing, well-articulated, most incredible book in the world, but without readers, it's nothing. It's just a hobby. Readers are what create a business. Gamers that support your business are what gives you a platform to build from. So it doesn't matter how much I do if I'm alone, and I do need support. I do. If nobody watching this is able to, I'm still going to keep pushing on. I believe in Revelations. I'm determined to see this through and to see this become something big. I'm super on board. I'm stoked. I'm sold out. I've invested more money in the last couple months than I did when I had the idea 10 years ago, and if I would have stuck with it for 10 years, there'd already be video games, there'd already be all kinds of content, but I didn't. But I'm changing that now. And, in 5 years, Revelations is going to be something. So you can be in on it and help shape it, or you can wait and come back later and be like, man, I could have been one of those early supporters who really got to help guide and direct and help support and promote and push up Revelations, so now all these people, all these thousands of people around the world get to enjoy. So we'll see, right? So anyway, comment below what you think you can do. As far as the main thing I'm just interested in is how many people are willing to support it. And I mean truly support it. Not just say, oh yeah, Rick, I'm going to be there when you launch a Patreon, because it's a lot of work to launch a Patreon and keep that up to date and move forward with that. And I'm willing to commit that and make that effort, make that very serious effort, if I know that there's people that are willing to back me up and help me out. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and I got to do what I got to do. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.